Hello, everyone. I'm here with Rob Macdonald, VP Exploration for Southern Silver. We're doing the backstage interview for the Metals Investor Forum. Rob, thanks for your time today to dig a little deeper on Southern Silver.
Oh, thank you very much, Peter, and thank you again for the invite to present on the Metal Investors Forum. And again, I'm happy to join you again and speak with you today as well.
Excellent. Always a pleasure. And so let's do a bit of a deeper dive on Southern Silver. And I know that you've recently completed a 22,000 meter drill program and you're looking towards a resource update next quarter. Can you talk to us a little bit more about that, and perhaps you can address the kind of increase in the resource that you're targeting?
Yes, I think we completed the 22,000 meters. We actually increased the amount of drilling that we had originally identified. And then part of that was because in one of the target areas, we were finding some very high grade mineralization that probably needed a little bit more definition than what we did on other parts of the system. And this was at the Mina Labacona target. And so we ended up doing more drilling there than we initially anticipated. So now we finally have, the drilling in the can. We are in the process now of having the resource update calculated, and we anticipate having something, some preliminary stuff within the week, and hopefully in a position within the coming weeks, next 2 to 3 weeks, of having a full resource update. At this point, we're looking at, we set an objective of increasing the resource by 30%. And I suspect we're on a pretty good track for that. I'm not sure if we'll absolutely make it right up to that point, but I think we're doing pretty well. I would anticipate at the end of the day, where we now have a 24 million ton deposit in indicated and inferred categories, I would anticipate that we will be well over 30 million tons in terms of the in terms of the deposit size. There are going to be some variables because our metal prices are going to be a little bit different. Our cutoffs are therefore going to be a little bit different. But I think that the main point is that we have a significant asset already, and we are making it bigger. And much of the mineralization that we're adding in is going to be some higher grade mineralization or higher grade silver mineralization that is relatively near surface, and in a mining plan could make it to the mill, sooner rather than later. And so we're very excited for that. And I'm want to see what this looks like and where this might take us beyond.
Interesting. So higher grade and closer to surface, that sounds actually quite exciting and encouraging for, I guess the IRR, the internal rate of return potentially for the project, and the payback period, all of these kinds of things. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, I think the idea that we have now is to try and get a payback, certainly within the first 4 or 5 years. We know that we have a sizable deposit or deposits on the western side, and we think that by adding some of the grade and mineralization on the eastern side is both going to potentially extend mine life or potential mine life of a project, as well as make a more efficient mining scenario and provide more flexibility moving forward. And there's also as well that we sort of stopped at a certain level, and in certain areas we're finding that mineralization remains open at depth. There remains some more exploration opportunities, particularly off to the northwest, as we extend a little bit further along strike from the Mina Labacona target area. And so there remains additional exploration opportunities, as well as down dip potential on the existing resource.
How would you see this ultimately being mined out? Would it be underground and starting in one area, or would you potentially start in more than one area at the same time?
I mean, I think you would start at one area, depending on the grade. You might start at a smaller scale than what would ultimately be the scale of the full mine plan, and this would allow you to ramp up, fairly quickly, and to be able to do that and cover those capital costs through cash flow. So I think the idea would be to start in one area, and right now I'm thinking on the eastern side of the Cerro. That may or may not be the case, but thinking of starting on the east side of the Cerro, being able to mine there for 2 or 3 years, continue some mining in a little bit late or a little bit beyond that, but then in that initial 2 or 3 years, use that time to build the infrastructure on the western side until the full project comes to bear. Again, this will likely be a large project, and so we will be looking at large underground tonnage that could conceivably be in the 3,000 to 4,000 ton per day sort of scenario. So a large underground mining scenario, and we would look at that probably going on over a 15 or more year period, and so that's a pretty significant mine, and we think that's attractive to a number of these number of miners that that are looking at establishing smelter contracts for decades, and so we think that we can fill that niche.
Excellent. So can you tell us a little bit more about what the most recent drilling has revealed to you about the deposit?
I think what we see I think certainly the Mina Lavacona area is probably similar to what we've tagged into in other parts of the larger deposit. And, you have some structural control, high-grade mineralization, both immediately adjacent to the central intrusion in the classic skarn front style of mineralization. You also can get some replacement bodies that are more of your carbonate replacement types, and again, high-grade mineralization that's localized along particular structures and fluid pathways. Understanding this and understanding some of those controls, we can now apply that to other parts of the deposits that have been maybe less well drilled, and I think will be beneficial as we move the project forward and looking to upgrade inferred resources in other parts of the deposit up to indicated categories, and using the information that we have from the Mina Lavacona target area to apply that elsewhere. So it's how grade is localized within the deposits is probably the short answer to that question.
Okay, so maybe we can finish off with this last one, where you do have some other projects or things that you're exploring on, some greenfields projects. Maybe you can fill us in a little bit on where those are and how they're progressing.
Yes, of course. We have 2 greenfields projects that we're exploring currently. One of them is a claim that was in the Cerro Las Manitas project area that was acquired in mid-2020. We've identified some surface targets on there, good high-grade mineralization, some oxide mineralization there. And so we are conducting some drilling upwards of 3,000 meters on that target area. Our other target is the Oro project. It's located in southern New Mexico. It's a large laramide porphyry system, and we've had the project since 2007. We've spent already $3 million on that project in exploration, some of it looking at a distal gold target in the Stock Pond area, and others looking at the porphyry and skarn targets in the main porphyry center. We've identified new targeting, a porphyry target and a copper skarn target, and we think that this will now give our investors a look at copper and exposure to copper in this system as well. So we're looking forward to this. We have 4,000 meters identified, and we're in the final stages of permitting. Should have our permits in hand in mid-November and be looking to start drilling in the late November, earliest December timeframe. And so again, there's lots to look forward to with this company moving through Q4 of 2021 and into 2022.
I had agreed. So it sounds like there's some exciting catalysts that investors have to look forward to. So, Rob, thanks so much for this. I appreciate the update and jumping into some more detail on the various projects, and certainly look forward to catching up again soon and following the progress of Southern Silver.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Peter.